Hi everyone, and welcome to the video lecture Qualitative Sampling and Research Design. In this video, we're going to explore how sampling and research design differs between qualitative and quantitative research studies. Typically, quantitative data is gathered in a deductive manner. If you remember from the Wheel of Science that we talked about at the beginning of the semester, deductive research starts with a theory, continues to a hypothesis, and then data is collected to analyze the hypothesis. Inductive data, on the other hand, or inductive research, collects data first and uses the data to construct a theory. Qualitative data is usually gathered for use in an inductive design. This is known as grounded theory. The theory is grounded in data because it's developed after the data is collected using the results of the data analysis instead of creating it beforehand like the hypothesis. In quantitative methods research, we collect data and analyze it. It's a straightforward and very linear process. With qualitative research, we collect data, we analyze it, and then based on the results of our data analysis, we may collect more data and analyze that, repeating the cycle over and over until the research is complete. Qualitative research is often depicted as a circular process where you keep collecting and analyzing data until you have enough to stop data collection and develop a theory. This is very different than the linear process of most quantitative research studies. The research process itself is not the only significant difference between qualitative and quantitative research. Sampling procedures often look different between the two as well. As you learned in previous modules, quantitative deductive research studies typically prefer to use random sampling if possible so as to gather a representative sample, increase the generalizability, and improve the study's external validity. However, qualitative research is a little different. In most qualitative studies, internal validity is the primary concern, not external validity. That means that our goal is not representativeness, it's in the validity of our findings. In quantitative research, you usually want to have a large enough sample size to run statistical analyses, and this means usually shooting for sample sizes in excess of 100 people or more. In qualitative, on the other hand, sampling size is mostly concerned with saturation, which means that you keep hearing the same things over and over during data analysis. Saturation can be achieved in 50 people or maybe even 20 people. It depends on the topic. But oftentimes you're going to see sample sizes of less than 40 or 30 in qualitative research. Because of this reduced emphasis on generalizability, we see more extensive use of non-probability sampling methods in qualitative research. For example, snowball sampling is a very popular methodology that's often used in qualitative research. Remember that snowball sampling means that you ask one person to refer you to someone who then refers you to other people, and so on and so forth. This type of sampling design is really useful for populations who may be less willing to talk to researchers, like those that are engaged in illegal behaviors, those that belong to secret organizations or groups, or people that are distrustful of outsiders. To give you an example of my own research, my dissertation was on the unintended consequences that sex offender policies, like the sex offender registry and notification laws, have on family members of registrants, like spouses, parents, and children. I started collecting data from one primary informant, a female spouse of a registered sex offender who was part of an advocacy group that I was working with over the course of a year. We had already built up a relationship over the past year, and so she trusted me as an objective researcher, and she knew that I would keep her information confidential. After multiple interviews together, she referred me to other wives of registered offenders that she had contact through online groups and her blog. Although I intended to collect data only through qualitative interviews, I found that the online sphere was a really important part of the sex offender support network. Through my main informant's blog, I was able to connect to other individuals who were seeking support in the online forum, and I ended up collecting over 800 blog posts from a network of women that were included in my study. So my data collection techniques and my methods evolved as my data analysis suggested other areas of focus. All right, well, that concludes our discussion about research design differences between quantitative and qualitative research. Thanks for watching, everyone.